Yo, 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 yo. Yo, yo. What's good with it? It's the homie MACK. Music, art, culture, knowledge. Thumbs up, give me the likes. Thumbs up, give me the likes. Um, Reporting live from the Dogon. Each one teach one. You know what it is. Yeah, so it's a lot going on right now. From the situation with the Boston Celtics coach. I don't want to mispronounce his name. I don't know how to pronounce it. And also Brett Favre. Brett Favre. So, there are a lot of moving parts with this whole Brett Favre situation. I'm going to give a somewhat broad synopsis of everything that's going on to play with that. As far as like specificity, names, all that, I'm going to pin an article from the New York Times so you guys can see specifically in detail the players. But there's a lot going on. This thing is deeper than I realized. This thing, it speaks to institutional violence. It speaks to the functionality of white male hegemonic patriarchy and how white women are complicit with said patriarchy. That's why I think it's nonsense when I hear white women say, down with the patriarchy. A lot of y'all benefit from it, but that's a whole other conversation. Basically, the state of Mississippi, they had given Brett Favre like $1 million something, to make speeches, to show his face and make speeches, of which he never made. He never made these speeches, but you betcha, he took the money. So, but from what I was told, what I've researched, there was a gentleman that actually came in and was trying to clean shop rectify things, get the books in order, just correct the things that were wrong. And when he was trying to get the books in order, he got fired. I can't remember the man's name, but he got fired. The state of Mississippi fired that man, which is very telling. But there's no blanket for the truth. Brett Favre has paid back the money that was paid to him from the state to give these speeches. But I heard he still has to pay more in interest. So he's not completely out the doghouse. But this thing with Brett Favre is so much bigger than him. They said the state of Mississippi had diverted over $5 million in public funds to Ted DiBiase, the wrestler. They also had given hundreds of thousands of dollars to Marcus Dupree, who was a big deal, 5-star hotshot football player, but he's retired. And these funds came from TANF/welfare TANF, meaning temporary assistance for needy families. TANF, TANF. And it's crazy how, what did Martin Luther King say? Martin Luther King said you have rugged capitalism for the poor and socialism for the rich. And that's what's really going on here. Basically, you had, wealthy people. And my thing is, this is bigger than race. Everything's political. There is a racial dynamic at play here. But for the most part, it speaks to classism. Like, it's ridiculous, to go online with the Martin Luther King quote I just mentioned. These are wealthy people with context, resources, money. They pretty much diverted the funds. They paid for trips. They paid for somebody's ministry so they could travel. They paid for just different luxury things. And this money was taken out of the allocation for poor people. You had people that were applying for food stamps, applying for TANF, and they were definitely in need, and they didn't even get the funds. But multi-millionaires, ex-NFL players, superstars, whatever, wrestlers and all this other crap, they got money to do their thing. I know they said with Brett Favre, I'm a little murky on it. I know they said he got like millions of dollars to get USM, University of Southern Mississippi, a new volleyball stadium because his daughter was playing there at the time, volleyball, and he's actually a Southern Miss alum himself. I'm not sure if the stadium that they're playing in now. I don't know if that money to build that stadium is directly linked to this, but it might be. I think it is. It's crazy to see how wealthy people just play with money, and in turn how they play with lives. The thing is, the thing about poverty, a lot of times you're so stuck on just getting through these 24 hours, you're not thinking about structural racism or just how the wealthy usurp things from the poor. You're not thinking about things like that. You're trying to make sure you eat, there's a roof over your head, that your children are straight, that they're good. Like, you don't have time to think about these socio-political miscarriages of justice. This fraud. Now, initially I was told that Brett Favre stole the money. From the text messages I saw, he didn't actually go into some funds. He didn't go into a bank account or whatever and just take the money. So he didn't steal it, but funds were misappropriated. There was one text message that Brett Favre had sent where he was like, is there a way that I can get the money and nobody can know and they can't trace it back to me? And I'm just like, bruh, this is shady. Now, I'm not sure if he knew that the funds were coming directly from welfare. At least I hope to God he didn't know. But either way, it was wrong. But the former governor of Mississippi, he was complicit. He knew where this funding was coming from. I can't recall his name, former governor of Mississippi. But they knew where this money was coming from. I'm not sure if they divulged this completely to Brett Favre. Maybe they have. I don't know. But it's just tragic to see, there were people who really needed that money. People who were homeless, on the brink of homelessness, starving, just living in complete, total indigency. And you had wealthy people just playing Monopoly. Pretty much. Just doing as thou wilt with the funds. I'm glad that these people are I guess a lot of the parties that are involved, they're cooperating with the FBI. They're cooperating with the authorities. And they need to be fined. They need to go to jail. Because this is just evil. Mississippi is already categorically is the poorest state in our country. And to see how these people were getting screwed. And they always want to talk about the welfare queens and how if you're poor, you just need to pull yourself up by the bootstraps, and everybody who has money, they just were so disciplined and got their shit in order. No. Your wealth or lack thereof does not speak to your character. There are people who are hardworking that are good people that just so happen to be poor. There are people who have a lot of money who didn't necessarily tactically gain their wealth. They may have inherited things, whatever, what have you. And yeah, they have money, they have resources, but they're shitty people. This is a session of MACK Minutes. It's really frustrating the more I dig, the deeper I dig into this. And it's bigger than Brett. What on New Jack City, Nino Brown said, it's bigger than me. It's bigger than Nino Brown. This is bigger than Brett Favre. Because I would argue that not only has this been going on in Mississippi for some time, this has probably been going on in other states since forever. Probably is going on right now. There are probably some other people that are sweating and wondering, am I next? Are they going to find out about the shady stuff I've been doing with these funds? So yeah, I hope and pray that justice prevails. I hope, there is some type of reparations, or just everybody who's been negatively impacted somehow, that they get the money they need. Everybody that was complicit in this scandal, stealing welfare funds, I hope they feel it. I hope, God forgives. I get it. I forgive too. I'm not, but it's I hope this impacts them in a way that it changes their character for the better. But yeah, you talk about grant money that was misappropriated. You had fake organizations that were basically like just like a cover for people to take money. Fake nonprofits, fake organizations that were going on, that were fake organizations that were basically, again, cover-ups. And people had these organizations that were just taking these funds that were allocated to them and just did what they wanted to do with it. And that's scary. That's sad. It's unfortunate that we live in, you know, an economic superpower of a country, and we claim to have this moral compass with how we engage and interact with other people from other nations, and we're basically taking a crap on ourselves, on each other. You know, it's sad to hear that. But I'm going to put the link to this article, and I'm going to pin it in the comment section. Yeah, it's just interesting. Again, there's always an assault on impoverished people. But to see that, no, the shady people, what's the word I'm looking for? Just the morally bankrupt people were the wealthy. No pun intended. And poor people suffered. It's the homie MACK signing out from the Dogon. Each one teach one. Brett Favre is definitely a welfare queen. But signing out from the Dogon is the homie MACK. Thumbs up, give me the likes. Thumbs up, give me the likes. I'm out.